Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tired Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Happy Friday. God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First, and my first thing today and every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and let's go. Got a lot to talk about, as usual. Okay, so the way we do the show on Fridays, this Freedman Friday, so in our second hour, we always talk reparations. Today, I'm pleased to have attorney Ariva Martin, who will get us up to date on her big win in Palm Springs and some smaller victories that are happening across the nation in the field of reparations. So excited to hear from her. And then, of course, in our third hour, we're doing a deep dive with a rap artist named Jay French. He will be live in the studio. If you haven't heard the mixtape Church, I recommend you check it out and get up to speed. You can listen, well, you can listen during the news because you got to listen to us right now. We got my friend. She's also a labor activist organizer, and she is a KBLA official contributor. Sherri Bell, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Good morning, everybody out there listening today.
Man, oh man, oh man. We do have a lot on our agenda
Holy
today.
moly.
Holy moly. You were really not feeling the DEI situation in general, but also in particular, the president blaming DEI for that tragic plane and helicopter crash.
Right. You know, I'm so glad that reporter asked the question, because all you got to do is just get him to keep talking. You know, I feel like this is just going to it's going to keep getting worse. Wouldn't be surprised if you slip up and say the N word on TV or something just like really like shocking, because for him to say something like that at a time like that is very overwhelming. So basically you are blaming DEI programs for a crash. So basically you're saying that we need people with the highest level of genius in positions, insinuating that people who have been historically underrepresented getting intentionally brought into roles that they've been excluded from, and the numbers to show it, and you're trying to say that just, you know, there's a correlation between somebody's being discriminated against based on their race or gender and their mental capacity, and it's just like whatever narrative fits their agenda. That's what they propose, like RFK saying that Black people have higher quality immune systems, so we don't need vaccines on the same schedules as white people. He said this in an open hearing. So basically our brain and our ability are inferior and not to a level of genius, and our bodies are superior enough to get vaccines later. These people are just talking, and I think that our plan should be to be proactive and not reactive to every crazy thing they say.
Yeah, that's a tall order. But first of all, what you just described is the ridiculous delusion of white supremacy, right? Mm-hmm. They think that they are intellectually superior, LOL, and that we have this brute strength. We're impervious to pain. We're well suited to be, slaves.
Right.
And that's not new, but it sounds real crazy because it's so blatant right at this moment.
Yeah, when it boils down to it, it's all about money, right? So, as Black Americans, our labor was good enough to be bought and sold and fought over in a war, right? So bought and sold for hundreds of years, fought over in a war. People risked their lives to keep slavery intact. As soon as we get free, our labor is deemed lazy and not suitable for certain positions. Then when we fight and get our civil rights, and if we do get those positions, it's not because of our work ability, it's because of some handout or something that doesn't have to do with our natural intellect. And this is the prime reason why we have Black History Month. This is the primary reason why people have Asian AAPI and Hispanic Heritage Month, because we have to be reminded of our greatness all the time, because people like Donald Trump say things like, you only in this position because of DEI and not your intellect. And we have to remind people of all the great contributions that we made to this country over and over again because of people like him.
Yeah, well, my theory, every time you hear the word DEI right now, just replace it with the N word and you'll understand what they're saying. I mean, because that's really how they're using it now. Mm-hmm. It's interchangeable. One thing I can ask you, because you do have the labor knowledge, unions, labor, workers, what this talking point, and I'm hearing some Black folks repeating it, and I don't know if they're repeating it because they're actually MAGA and they're intentionally putting out misinformation, or because they're angry and it sounds right, and someone showed them some statistic in some area that seems to prove a point. But what that talking point is that Black people do not benefit from DEI. And the line is, most people who benefit from DEI are women, are Asians, are Latinos. And, that could be true in some industry or some position. I don't know what statistic they're referring to. But when you look at DEI overall, mm-hmm. in corporations, in government, in education, mm-hmm. I know for a fact, because I know businesses right now who have lost money because grants or programs that they had for their Black-owned business have now disappeared. Mm-hmm. What's your impression of whether DEI actually helps Black people in any way, or if it's just like affirmative action, which actually did help some Black people too, but where, in fact, many of the beneficiaries are white women?
Yeah, I think when you are intentional about helping Black people, that's the best way to help Black people. If you're like doing like a blanket type of minority, diversity, equity, inclusion thing, you might not see a strong benefit solely directed towards Black people. You might see benefits across the board to other underrepresented groups like you just described, like women, Asian, things of that nature. So I can understand that those statistics across the board might not show a strong uptick as it relates to Black people solely benefiting from DEI more than anyone else. But I do think that when you look at history, like when affirmative action was removed and things like you saw the Black enrollment at public universities go down because there wasn't any intentionality to bring them in, because basically, in a nutshell, people's preconceived biases are a thing. Resumes with Black sounding Black names get thrown in the trash. These types of things they persist, and they have for centuries and like over the last 50 years for sure. And so when you think about DEI, if it's not hurting anybody or helping anybody, why are you trying to target it so much if it's not a benefit? I think that the danger is using intentionally helping underrepresented groups under the guise of being discrimination. It's like that is the thing that threatened the Fearless Fund, right? When you look at how that targeted grant was geared towards Black women, because Black women make up less than 1% of all venture capitalist initiatives. So we want to help this group get ahead. That is looked at when that is looked at as discriminatory. That's a problem, because then you target all those initiatives, like the people you said who lost the contracts or who losing these benefits. That's not even these benefits are not even helping people get to scale. They're barely giving them the chance. That
Right,
they
and they're not
deserve.
benefits like welfare benefits. They're benefits like you get a chance to be at the table. You
Right.
get a chance, someone to outreach to you, somebody, and you still have to be qualified to get into the
Exactly.
program or get that job. But
Yes.
now we're going to do outreach and say, okay, this job is available. The fact that he would think that you can just walk up and be a pilot because you're black or a
Right.
woman is ridiculous. Like
Right.
pilots have to take tests.
Same
They have
test.
to go and they have to go through vigorous training. It's not, you can't just say, oh, black man pilot, here you go. Here's the keys to the plane. Not that planes have keys, but you know what I'm saying.
Right, right.
I mean, that's how it is in their mind. Meanwhile, we had just confirmed, well, the Senate has just sworn in a Secretary of Defense who has never supervised more than 50 people, and we are talking millions
Right.
of people in the U.S. military. Somebody who is a drunk, somebody who has allegedly raped multiple women, and he's got the keys to the codes or whatever. It's astounding to me that is a form of white privilege. The fact that you can fix your lips to blame black people for everything while bringing in the most unqualified cabinet in the history of ever.
Right.
And so that's why I say from now on, when you hear Republicans and people suffering from the delusion of white supremacy say DEI, just substitute it with N-word, and you'll be very clear on what they're actually saying. 800-920-1580 if you want to jump in. We got a long list of things, I think, to cover today, but we're happy to include yours. It's 800-920-1580, or if you're shy, jump in. The YouTube chat room is KBLA 1580 at YouTube, and they're talking, like always. That's what we do around here. We talk. We analyze, but we also take some action. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Can your pad absorb everything and stay fresh? Always Radiant with Flex Foam can. Get up to 0 leaks, 0 odor, and 0 feel. Because Flex Foam is the only pad with a flexible foam core. You heard me, foam. Always Radiant is so thin, it feels like nothing, yet protects like nothing else. Can your pad do that? For up to 100% leak-free protection, try Always Radiant to see what Flex Foam can do for you.
You can do it all by yourself, baby girl. What's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink.
Spilled your drink? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night.
Buy you a drink.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Yeah, yo, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, Sherri Bell is with me, and you mentioned Black History Month. It starts tomorrow. Wow! I didn't realize that. What happened to January? I don't know. It got sucked into this MAGA hole of. Okay, let me breathe. You know what? I really feel like I want to be intentional about giving people the opportunity to flip and change. So I don't want to blame people because I feel like some folks have actually been tricked and they really think that, like his sign said, Trump will fix it. And if they start to realize that he probably won't, then I want to have welcoming arms, come back to reality or come to, come to some, at least where we have objective facts type things.
Some people might. I wonder how far they would go into admitting it, because I really think some people voted for him knowing that his policies were not in their best interest, but purely just voted for him because there are still a lot of racist and prejudiced and bigots, in the world. And so if he's standing for everything that they represent and those values that they've been raised with, then that's A-okay. Like some people might be in the middle and, figured that, he might do things differently than what they were experiencing in a previous administration that had probably been misconstrued as like damaging to their pocketbooks. But the eggs are still high, so I don't know. So
in other words, you don't believe that people voted because of prices. You believe that for the most part they are unabashedly racist.
I believe that they
or at least anti-black
or are willing to blame like immigrants or DEI for all the trials and tribulations in their own personal life instead of like addressing their upbringing and their decisions and their parents' decisions and, how that impacted and how the economy's decisions impacted them. Because if you look back in history, like Reaganomics and how those trickle-down economics policies impacted Midwestern white farmers and white people who are on food stamps and how they had to survive off of government cheese. The history speaks for itself. But however, you got like teachers in the Midwest saying, oh, we're not voting for Kamala because she's an idiot. We're going to vote for Trump. And so those types of people, I don't know if they're going to see the light or at least admit it in public.
Yeah, I don't care if they admit it. I just need them to admit it at the voting booth or whatever.
Right.
But you may be right. I don't know. I always want to give people an off-ramp. That's what I call it, an off-ramp. Whether it's a family member, and I have one, or a friend, I want to give people an off-ramp, meaning you did something I consider to be very problematic, but I'm not going to condemn you for the rest of your life for that. If you can go, here, look, right this way, come on off, come to where the cookies are, over here in the land of progressives.
Time will tell soon, like on the economic front. But far as like people who were like so happy to see deportations and people getting rounded up in their schools that are, some of these people, are like basically the United States government, the president, has always not been like a super clear source of truth telling. However, I believe the POTUS in the office of the president of the United States is no longer a reliable source of information anymore.
For definitely that.
So, but for people who are like anti-immigrant and like, you know, believe that scapegoating people for own personal problems, they're probably feeling good right now, even though it's having no benefit to them. Like seeing people rounded up, like, yeah, he's doing what he said he's gonna do. He's killing DEI. He's deporting people. Like he's opening Guantanamo Bay. Like all that hatred and stuff like that. All the bad stuff that he's doing so easily with the stroke of a pen. People who wanted that are feeling good, but how does the other stuff come to roll out, right?
It's a sugar high, though. They're going to come crashing down. I'm sorry. It's a sugar high. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think you once you start looking at the actual effects of that,
right.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I think some of those folks are paid to say that stuff, too.
No, I think you're right, because when you look at history, like government, the party system changes, like, every 2 years or every other year, right? A Democrat is elected, a Republican elected. You might get a Democrat, Republican, but it always switches over. And I think it's because people get tired of whatever they're dealing with and try something new, and it's going to flip back over.
Yeah, I'm just hoping the consciousness flips back over. I mean, and honestly, I think people are loud and wrong online, so it's easy to make that, to consider that, oh, that's how everybody's thinking, but I don't think it is. I don't think, and even when you say, even people who say, oh, yay, they're rounding up immigrants, they're rounding up Latinos, which is what they think it is, even though it's not just Latinos, and taking them out. When you actually start to see people put in handcuffs and placed in concentration camps, and really focus on the fact and understand the fact that these members of Congress and rich people are investing in private prisons because they know they're going to be building private prisons to house these immigrants and others who aren't even immigrants, even migrants who come through legal means, such as the refugee system. They're going to be asylum seekers. They're going to be rounded up. They're already doing citizens. I think when people see the reality of kids being dragged out of schools and grandmas being dragged out of churches, it might not seem so delightful.
Right, be like, oh Lord, what did I do? Because they're like, I seen them round up a lady who was on her way to work. Like, this don't look like a criminal to me. But yeah, I agree with you, Dominique, because now we're in a new age like never before. Like, everybody got a camera phone, you know, and social media. Like, you can post real stuff in real time. And although we are in an era of misinformation, we are in an era of abundant information. So people are seeing more things than they've ever seen before outside of network television. And so I'm optimistically clinging on to that hope that people seeing this despair of what they caused by voting, like half the country voted. Well, I don't know. I got to look at the...
Yeah, it's not quite half.
Yeah.
But, and also, you know, the voter suppression is real, right?
Right.
But Jerry Anderson is in the chat saying that's the new agricultural labor force. And she's talking about, maybe she's talking about imprisoned migrants. Maybe she's talking about Black and Latino citizens who are already in the prison system. I think both of those things would be right. You see who's fighting our fires right now in the state of California. 30% are imprisoned firefighters. And so if you are kicking out all of the people that are actually picking your vegetables and running those slaughterhouses, keeping the meat prices lower, who are you going to replace that with? Are you going to replace it with the people you're now arresting with the black lash, white lash district attorneys, conservative DAs like Nathan Hochman here in Los Angeles, and these new old return to the 3 strikes era laws that allow them to be kept in prison? It certainly seems like a business model.
Right.
that's being teed up.
Yeah, we're going to have to fight back. Like, that's why organizing is so important. Like, if there's a chance to show up to a meeting or use your voice or write a letter or make a phone call, because, like, you know, that's what got us our rights that we've been afforded and we're trying to hang on to and we're trying to get back and we're trying to keep. You know, people are going to have to take action and be involved. And so there's going to be chances for you all, for us to do that as a community. And I know that, yeah, California, although we voted against, ending involuntary servitude, like, I agree with you. This is scary because I heard that in places like Mississippi, they actually take prisoners out of prison to work.
Oh, yeah.
And like fast food restaurants.
Alabama, yeah, too.
And then send them back to jail.
Yeah, that's the thing. All right, we've got news, traffic, and sports. Then more, only right here, KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Trump criticized former Presidents Obama and Biden for lowering air travel safety standards, claiming DEI policies reduced air traffic controller standards. He promised to restore faith in air travel by hiring based on intellect and brain power. Confirmation hearings for President Trump's key government picks concluded for the day. Kash Patel faced senators for the FBI leadership role. Tulsi Gabbard was questioned for Director of National Intelligence, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. continued his bid for Secretary of Health and Human Services. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker is accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by 6 massage therapists. Tucker's attorneys deny the allegations, calling them impossible to prove. And music stars like Stevie Wonder performed at the Fire Aid benefit concert for LA wildfire relief last night. No word yet on how much money was raised. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Count on Lowe's to lend a hand to prepare, recover, and rebuild during the wildfires. Lowe's is a part of your neighborhood and want to make sure you have the supplies you need when you need them. Visit Lowe's in-store or online to get emergency supplies now and learn about relief efforts in your area.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
2 significant streaks are on the line for the USC women's basketball team when they host Minnesota tonight at the Galen Center. USC, ranked 4th in the country, has won 14 straight games and 8 straight at home. 7 p.m. tip-off tonight. If you're streaming at home, you can catch the game live on the Peacock channel. Congratulations to UCLA legend Reggie Miller. Miller was chosen by NBC to be the network's #1 NBA analyst. NBC will start broadcasting NBA games next season. Alumni of Howard University and Florida A&M, here's a date you should circle on your calendar. Saturday, August 30th. That's the date the football teams at Howard and Florida A&M will meet up in the Orange Blossom Classic at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The popular HBCU schools finalized negotiations today to play in one of the top showcase games for HBCU football. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? It seems impossible to find them. Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
It's KBLA Talk 1580's third annual Black History Month luncheon, and you're invited. This is year 2 of our climate justice work, and this year's $2 million 12-month campaign is all about linking and combating the relationship between climate and Black health. We already know that these wildfires will leave in their wake even greater inequities, including negative impacts on Black health, given the toxic air pollutants circulating in the air we breathe. So, as part of this year's climate campaign, we're honoring Black doctors and leaders in healthcare at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Friday, February 28th at noon. If you would like to join us, just go to our KBLA 1580 website and register for your chance to be our guest at the luncheon. We'd love to see you. And in case you haven't heard the news, KBLA Talk 1580 was just named one of the semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
All right. It is a Freedman Friday. So what are we doing? Me and Sherri are sitting here talking about reparations when it's news, traffic, and sports. And yeah, I laugh because I'm waiting to see all of these folks who were in this right-wing space saying that Donald Trump was going to give us reparations. I'm waiting for y'all to hold him accountable. Please hold him accountable. I also wanted to point out, because I try not to just be straight doom and gloom, but the fact is a lot of the stuff he's signing is not going to hold up. I mean, I know we have an extreme court that kind of kowtows to him, and we are in a new era, so maybe some of it that I didn't think would get through will, but a lot of it, I mean, a judge already blocked the freezing of, the federal grants.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, because talk about unintended consequences. I didn't think this all the way through. You're defunding Head Start, defunding all these, or at least freezing child care,
right,
veteran services, all kinds of elder care. And there's so many federal programs. Think about all these service providers who work with, for example, halfway houses for incarcerated persons,
right,
and all of this stuff. Now you're going to freeze their funding, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to need people with courage and some kind of morality for the sake of humanity.
Right.
I heard you say something about somebody, I don't know. It's like the who gonna check me, boo?
Oh yeah, that was Attorney Jumpy. She said We're in the era of who gonna check me, boo.
Who gonna check me, boo? So we need a whole bunch of people that's gonna check Donald Trump, and stop him and use their power, whatever power they have, to fight back against an attack on humanity, an attack on morality. We need courageous people that are not gonna fall for the okie doke. We're gonna need people to use whatever tricks and tools that they have to stand up for what's right in this time frame, because
we need more Sherri Bells. Real talk. I mean, I don't just say that because you're my friend. Sherri will show up to a protest, a meeting, in a heartbeat, a march, and I think that's the spirit of it. And people are doing it. Let's remember, the media learned. And I know they like to say that the media is liberal, but really it's mostly owned by conservative people like Rupert Murdoch, who are very far to the right. They learn their lesson. They're not covering the marches. People are marching. People are protesting, not just around the world, but here in the United States.
Right.
We didn't see I didn't see anything on CNN or anybody about all those folks marching in Washington right before the inauguration in bitter cold.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So people are doing it. And I was talking about this yesterday. The state attorneys general are suing the administration already about birthright citizenship, about freezing those federal programs, about a number of other things.
Yeah.
People are not just sitting down, so we need to remember that. And remember that if you want that news, you have to seek it out because they're not going to make the same mistake and get people inspired to march by the millions all over the world like we did in 2020. They're going to try to prevent that. And by they, I'm talking about the media and the administration with the most that press secretary who obviously went to the Trump School of Fact-Free Facts. We got Ron from Richmond on the phone. Good morning, Ron. Welcome.
Good morning, Dominique, my Yay area Frisco homegirl doing her thug thizzle.
Good morning.
Yes, and good morning to your guest. I finally got through to talk to her. You doing your thing, Ma.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you should get your own show. On it for real.
We keep trying to give her one, but she's like, no, I have 3 jobs. She got a job.
You got mad energy in the morning, though. You really should get your own show.
I agree.
You look good and you sound good, so I just want to give you props from the Bay Area for real.
Appreciate you, Yay Area.
Keep up the good work. Yeah, real quick, I wanted to give my prayers out to my boy Too Short and his family on the passing of his brother the other day.
Yeah, it's terrible.
He
was shot. He was shot in Oakland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, Oakland is on a whole other level right now. I don't know what's going on over there, but it's crazy everywhere. But the town, it's on a whole other level right now.
Yeah, so poverty, terrible governance. And and lack of opportunity combined with gentrification on steroids. That's my analysis.
Man, corruption. You got the person in charge of distributing resources doing corrupt stuff. But the Bay Area, y'all got something in the water out there that a lot of y'all are very political and about that life and stand on business. So I'm sure Oakland will bounce back.
Yep, it will.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't want to hold y'all looking. I'm sure a lot of folks want to get through. I'll holler at y'all. But Dominique, you already know how we do. You always got my support. You my forever San Francisco homie. Shout out to the whole LA area. Continued prayers going out to everyone trying to bounce back from the wildfires. And
it's a long road.
Yeah, and y'all always got my support if you're in the Bay. And to Tavis Smiley, I need a hookup on some merch, man. Give me a all black KBLA hoodie, bruh.
Okay.
Black on black.
Yeah, exactly. We should maybe we can do a giveaway. Keep your eyes and your ears right here, Ron from Richmond, because you never know when we might have a KBLA merch giveaway.
Right, there we go.
Hey, I'm down with it. Holla at your boy.
Absolutely. All right.
Have a good weekend with y'all. Thanks again for taking my call. Have a great weekend. Y'all take care and be safe out there.
And you as well. Sherri, you do have a whole fan club, which I love. People show up in the chat. It's every other Friday. Let me go see what Sherri got going on.
You know what? I appreciate it. And I'm a fan too. I'll be right there listening with everybody when I'm not on. So it's all love all the way around. So
travel more, worry less, in case you're wondering what her shirt says. Right. The ones that are in the chat, it doesn't go all the way down. So it says travel more, worry less. And I'm with that. We're going to go to Jeanette calling us from Inglewood. Hi, Jeanette. You're on with Sherri Bell and your girl, Dominique DiPrima.
Good morning, Good morning. Dominique and Sherri. Thank you so much for taking my call. You know what? I'm calling today because I want to offer a solution to saying DEI when they say that. So what if we could get a spy? A white spy.
I love Jeanette because her imagination be working. Okay, so I'm following you. We get a white spy.
And have them
I elect Eminem.
Okay.
Okay, a white spy. They do what now?
And have them to call on podcasts, social media, radios, whatever, and ask their host, what is DEI? And when they say, the host say diversity, equity, and inclusion, then the person calling say, what does that mean? And let's see what kind of an explanation the host has for that.
I mean, someone needs to ask Donald Trump that. Because he don't know. It means dumb, evil, ignorant, N-words. That's what it means.
But if they ask him, when they ask him that, he'll say, "Oh, especially to a woman, you're just so nasty." That's a nasty question.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. It has to be a dude. And it has to be their DEI, which is the default DEI, which is white male.
Right. And so finally, part of the solution.
Yeah.
So part of the solution would be for the person, let's say it's a white male, can say to the host, okay, so on my job, can I just go in and say I want to work in this office and not downstairs in the warehouse, and send a person from the warehouse, vice versa.
Right. Get someone from the warehouse to be in the CEO's office.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if a white man just wanted a better cushion job, he's white, DEI, and can we do that? So
yeah, I mean, it seems to me what she's getting at is trying to open people's eyes to their hypocrisy. And the thing about that is I think there's two types of folks. One is people that sincerely believe that somehow they're being discriminated against because, as someone brilliantly said, if you've always had privilege, equality feels like you're being oppressed.
Exactly.
And then there are other people that actually intentionally want an advantage, and they don't care if it's fair or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They want to keep their knee on your neck.
Oh, yeah. And going back to like getting people to explain what DEI is, people couldn't explain what critical race theory was either. Like, we got to get rid of CRT. It's like they have these buzzwords that they use that they're like targeting as negative, but you ask somebody to explain it and you can't. They're not going to be able to.
They can't explain it because they won't say out loud what it means to them, which is NIGGER.
Right. No, I agree. And you know what else?
You can put whatever initial you want on it. That's the real letters that go there.
Even though it don't only help us, it help people with disabilities. It help people of like LGBTQIA. Plus, it helps everybody who's been historically discriminated against based on their identity. But when we talk about like the hypocrisy of getting people to talk about DEI and what it means to them, I just totally lost track of my thought. But
it'll come back.
Yeah.
It's because right now, and I think this is the strategies to flood the zone. So it's like we got so many balls to hit back. We can't even.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to rebrand it.
DEI.
We're gonna have to rebrand it. We're gonna have to call it something else. We're gonna have to repackage it. Same intent.
We need to call it meritocracy, like these fools be.
Yeah,
they talking about meritocracy and have no qualifications and merit nothing. So, in their opinion, apparently having white skin and a penis gives you merit.
You know what? Yeah, that too. And like during his State of the Union or whatever inauguration speech or whatever, he said he wants a society that's colorblind and merit based. And and we all know where that'll get you, right? You remember separate but equal? Like we gonna make it separate but equal.
Yeah.
That's, I'm surprised they're not gonna try to bring that back. But we all know that they're like, if you allow things to fester and do like normal, either we're gonna be so successful in what we do that they gonna bomb us like Black Wall Street, or you gonna intentionally deprive us of resources so our resources will be lacking. So what has society taught us? When has society in the United States ever been colorblind?
I mean, I hate to bring it up, but is the president's fire response, is that separate but equal? You go to Palisades, but not to Altadena. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe he's coming back. Prove me wrong. I would love to be wrong. Prove me wrong. Give us our reparations. Come back to Altadena and say, you know what? Due to the historical disenfranchisement of black people, federal government's restoring all the black people's homes, and we're going to call it reparations. Prove me wrong, please, pretty please. I will humbly rescind everything I've said about your orange behind if you write checks to everybody who is the descendant of enslaved persons in this country.
Right.
Please prove me wrong. Let me be wrong. Sherri Bell, Dominique DiPrima, KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles as it presents a Los Angeles Wildfire Benefit Concert on Sunday, February 2nd, 4 p.m. at the First United Methodist Church, 500 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. Join us for a powerful evening of music, unity, and support as talented performers from our community come together to raise funds for those affected by the wildfires. The concert is free, and all proceeds raised will benefit those who have sustained unimaginable losses. It's the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles in concert, Sunday, February 2nd, 4 p.m. at the First United Methodist Church in Pasadena, located at 500 East Colorado Boulevard. All contributions should be made payable to the California Community Foundation Wildfire Community Fund. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio, KBLA Talk 1580.
Sherri over there talking smack to the live. I'm on my Instagram live, DiPrima Radio, if you want to tap in. But you're right. I mean, Attorney Nana Gyamfi said, who gonna check me? It's the era of who gonna check me, boo? Mm-hmm. And the answer to that is what?
We are.
We ready.
We ready.
We checking jokers since 1619.
For real, man. Like, we gotta remember our greatness, and like, cause people trying to take it away from us every day, you know, with that nonsense, having us. Some people think that, you know, you have what you have because of a handout, and you know that's not true. We need intentionality because of myth of colorblindness and a myth that this country isn't racist when we have all the receipts. So we're only gonna have to keep telling our story.
Yeah, Selena made a great point in the chat too, which is that time for sitting down is over. But I think it's one of the reasons that I really enjoy having you on, Sherri, is because you've never been just a talk the talk person.
You know, I feel like if everybody can just set aside like 3 times a year or 4 times a year where you go to an action or make a phone call or do something, I feel like you're doing your part. I'm not I don't have the ability to do everything, but long as you're doing something, you can say that you are building power and contributing something that's bigger than yourself. Because, like Keely said, when 5 black people show up, people get scared.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure about Al Sharpton going to shop at Costco. They might say, we should drop our DEI. There's too many black people.
Right.
The fact of the matter is there are so many areas right now. I'm kind of moving this camera so you can see me, see Sherri. But the fact of the matter is there's so many areas to work. So if you're a person who actually doesn't, anti-blackness is not your thing, then go look at labor. Right? Because the attacks on labor are real.
Right.
And they're about to be really real. If you're not a person who wants to deal with labor, go deal with women's rights. We already see what that agenda is. I don't have the article in front of me, but this lawmaker, it's on my phone, darn it. My phone is online. There's a lawmaker who has, and this is a black guy, who's put out a proposed bill to arrest men who ejaculate without the intention to have a baby. So
that is so weird.
You can go to jail for pleasuring yourself.
I think people just doing stuff for attention and clickbait
you might be
and
right.
just outrageousness. Like, that he's getting talked about. And sometimes people get in politics for the wrong reasons, to be celebrities, to take advantage. When you go in politics, your real motive should be to serve the people and to help make whatever situation a better situation, not for selfish needs. And sometimes people just spotlight leaders and provocateurs, and we could tell who those people are. And this guy seems like he's one of them. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't. But and yet, the president is so unpredictable, right? I mean, truly unpredictable.
Yeah.
What do you make of this nominee for labor secretary, Lori Chavez DeRemer, I think is her name.
Right. Yeah. So I looked her up, and she did back like some pro-union legislation regarding like expanding the right for workers to organize. And some of his strongest supporters in the Senate and the House are very much anti-labor. That's why I don't understand why the national chapter of the Teamsters supported Donald Trump when all his homies are like anti-labor and want to kill unions. But anywho, with this situation, I have to see how she answers questions during her confirmation hearing. And I have to actually see what her plans are, because I can't really understand how Donald Trump would pick anybody to be in his cabinet that doesn't align with like Project 25 type stuff.
Yeah, but he's very transactional. So like maybe they dated, or maybe she gave a contribution to him one of his campaigns, or maybe she's Melania's secret cousin. I mean, there has to be a reason. The ironic thing is she likely may not be confirmed, because Republicans are rebelling against this woman because she's taken a pro-labor stance ever in her life.
Right. Yeah. So that is going to be telling, and it's going to really play out. I mean, it'd be weird to see that, because every wacky, crazy person that he put up so far has been confirmed. We'll see about RFK, but I'm sure he might get pushed through too. It's like no matter what he does, his clique aligns with him. And I just got to say, the Democrats pay attention, because they got each other back, and and they do what they want. And so Democrats got to be bold and unafraid and stand on business when it comes to what they say their values are, and stop being punks, because that's the reason why, been a lot, they sticking together. So we'll see if she get confirmed, because if Trump wanted her to be confirmed, I can't imagine them going against her too much,
Well, we'll see. Yeah. Rand Paul was talking smack about her, and so was Bernie Sanders. So it's interesting. She's got the far right and the far left, worried about her, which makes me think this is an interesting woman. Let me find out what's really going on.
A Republican that's pro-unionizing.
We got to follow the money. We more information needed. We need some intel.
Right. TBD.
Oh man, time flies when you are on the radio.
Oh yeah, I wanted to tell people about the local assembly district delegate election. So delegates are people that are an extension of you. They're in the LA County Democratic Party. Each assembly district gets 14 delegates. They vote on things like ballot measures and endorsing candidates that eventually can go on to the Democratic National Convention. But anyways, more of a local level. The deadline to register to vote online is today. This is an important election.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, if you're a registered voter and to register to vote, you can vote in this election to choose your local delegates for your assembly district. So I'm in Assembly District 55. There's a slate of 14 candidates that are running. I'm supporting them. You could go on my Instagram page and click the link in my bio to register to vote for this assembly district delegates that will represent your assembly in the LA County Democratic Party. Today is the last day to register to vote, and I have some slates on my page that I am also vouching for, some progressive slates that will represent progressive working class values if they are elected. You got to vote for all 14 though.
Okay, so today's the deadline.
Yes.
Sherri De La Ghetto.
Right.
Sherri De La Ghetto. If you're not already following Sherri, which you should be, you can follow her now. Follow me while you're there too, DiPrima Radio. Great information, Sherri. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And as usual, I appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate being here. Appreciate all you guys out there in the chat, YouTube, that listen later on after this 6 a.m. hour. Let's keep ourselves informed and up to date.
Speaking of that, Freedman Fridays next. Rap artist Jay French in the final hour. We got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580.
1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. President Trump criticized former Presidents Obama and Biden for lowering air travel safety standards, claiming DEI policies reduced air traffic controller standards. He promised to restore faith in air travel by hiring based on intellect and brain power. Confirmation hearings for President Trump's key government picks concluded for the day. Kash Patel faced senators for the FBI leadership role. Tulsi Gabbard was questioned for Director of National Intelligence, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. continued his bid for Secretary of Health and Human Services. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker is accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by 6 massage therapists. Tucker's attorneys deny the allegations, calling them impossible. Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black news.